Welcome to the Sci-Fi Center, the place to be, where comic books and wrestling collide magically. Movies, TV shows, and pop culture we share. Get ready to rock, we're here to take you there. From superheroes to aliens in outer space, we've got the latest news and reviews in our embrace. Turn on your screen, let the neon lights glow. We'll take you back to the 80s. Let's rock and roll. Sci-Fi Center, where the legends come alive. Get ready to geek out, let your imagination thrive. We're diving into the past with a touch of modern flair. Sci-Fi Center, the ultimate pop culture lair.
Slight delay in what StreamYards is doing right now. Still waiting for my notification, the host, that we're live. But hey, happy Tuesday, September 17th, 2024. Tonight is just a light stroll through geekdom. Rational, I see your question. It's been one I've been getting asked all day. How you doing, Ruth? What's going on? I was gonna wait till Brad makes his way to the center to go ahead and address this, but I'll go ahead and see if he's coming anytime soon. Doesn't look like it. Wait a minute, hold on. All right, well, I'll go ahead and bring these up. Oh, hold on, just let me say hi to everybody. Everybody, for those of you coming along late, something's wrong with the StreamYard notification thing. It is not. It's tailing. So, how you doing, Silent Not Forgotten, Dracula? What's going on? My favorite Aussie. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and get this ready. Go to my profile. I have two ways of thinking about this, but hold on for a second. This was quite a while back. But... all right. Let's bring this. All right. Well, here we go. James, comic writer Mark Waid confirms Crypto's Superdog will be in James Gunn's Superman. I think we already kind of knew that. I've got a good feeling about this movie. I like James Gunn. I like his reverential approach, by and large, to this kind of stuff. And, reverential without taking it too seriously. I mean, Superman 2025 has a dog in it with a superpowered dog with heat vision. So, it's not any Zack Snyder. Couple of different ways I could look at this is I have the tremendous utmost amount of respect for for Mark Waid back before we had a live video stream. I interviewed him. I know that content and preferential wise, he's not a fan of Man of Steel. That's just somebody having an opinion. Did he need to bring up Zack Snyder, knowing how polarizing that name is? I mean, I don't think so, but I don't need to go to World War III about it. To be honest with you, I look at it as like, okay, I already knew Mark Waid did preferred other versions of Superman. To be honest with you, even though when I talked to him, he told me that. I told him straight up, the Superman from Kingdom Come is the Superman I see in Zack Snyder's movies. And he kind of was shocked about that. But I'm like, all right. I mean, it's just an opinion. Mark Waid has he's done enough in the business and he has a right to his opinion. I don't know where this is coming from. To me, I could read it as in, yeah, Zack Snyder's Superman is probably not going to have a fucking dog flying around with a cape shooting eye beams.
Hitting the ground running, I see.
Yeah, because we're not going to spend too much time on it. That's obvious. And that's why I prefer. Listen, Crypto the dog in a comic book, I'm okay with. Crypto the dog in Titans series, it was all right. It depends on how it's done. If I never saw Crypto or Bleep, the Super Monkey and any of the other super pets and all that shit, I'm okay with that. That is not my preference. But he's stating the obvious right there, so I took it for that. Yeah, if Zack Snyder was doing a superhero movie, the odds of us seeing an outright super pet are probably nil. So I took it at that. But you have, the people on either side of this. Listen, not everything has to be DEFCON 4. We don't have to turn the nuclear key on everything. I know his preference when it comes to Superman, and I just leave it at that. But once again, this interview was like 3 weeks ago, and it's just now hitting Twitter. I mean, it shows you Twitter's behind.
Well, so I mean,
hold on. I'm going to give you the floor, and then I'm going to let you go with it because I know you have a specific feeling about it, and I want you to have that. This is nothing. This is nothing. This is just another person's opinion of their preference. Now, the shitheads that invariably jump on it and want to use it as a weapon, there's nothing we can do for those people anymore. There's nothing the best thing we could do for each other is to not respond to them, in my opinion. If they want to look like fools, listen, a fool talking to himself in an empty room is a fool. I just let him go. No, I mean, nothing has changed. I mean, Mark Waid has his opinion about his preference of Superman. I have mine. Listen, the more I hear and see about this version of Superman, and I'm going to leave the door open to see the movie and have that change my mind because I felt the same way about Suicide Squad and felt the same way about Peacemaker. This is not looking like the type of Superman that I want to invest heavily in. So I'm on that camp. But at the same time, if he gets to other aspects of his universe, then those are going to be the things I latch on to. But as far as this goes, I mean, the characters that are involved, where it starts, the way it looks, everything about it right now is something I'm a bit standoffish. I'm not going to be one of these ones that creates 1,000 viewers and adds 10,000 people to my subscriber list just bashing James Gunn, because it's going to come down to when I see it. If it's something I can invest into emotionally, I'll be along for the ride. If it's not something, we won't talk about it on this show. As a matter of fact, if I don't like it, we're not going to talk about it very much. We're going to talk about the things that we enjoy, and that are relevant to our audience. I'm not going to spend time hating on James Gunn's Superman, especially if there's other aspects of his universe I end up liking. But as far as that go, we're not going to do the hate machine. I'm not going to turn this channel into some bullshit to where we're just reacting to that's what they want. They have nothing going for them. These people who the anti-Snyder nuts, not all of them. I'm not talking about just the people who just don't prefer his movies. That's fine. You have a right to that opinion. But I'm talking about the soulless assholes out there that don't have anything better to do than to poke people with a stick. That's what they want us to turn around and give them 2 seconds out of the day. I'm just not going to do it. Mark Waid is a pivotal person in the industry. He's a person I respect. He had an opinion. If it's taken one way, I don't agree with it. But if it's taken for the obvious, yeah, I don't think I'd ever see Crypto the Superdog in a Zack Snyder movie. Either way, this I think was blown into something that it really didn't need to be blown into. On that note, I'll let you get your opinion about it because, like I said, I know you engaged with some people.
I didn't really engage per se. I did put out my thoughts on it, and Mark Waid obviously Wayne and I, and probably most comics aficionados agree, Mark Waid, he's absolutely a seminal figure in the comics world. I think I've shared on here before. I actually did meet him about 9 years ago when I was at Tampa Comic Con. I literally just bumped into him. We were both at a trash can. I'm like, "Are you Mark Waid?" He's like, "I am Mark Waid." And I got his picture, and he has been over the years been quite vocal in his dislike of Man of Steel. I knew that at the time. I ran into him, but it's like I wasn't gonna dredge that up. It's like, I can live with people not liking a movie I don't like. I mean, it's when they cross over into being obnoxious and just belligerent about it, it's when I have a problem. It's like, and I think, I mean, with how frequently, let's say, he's made his feelings known, and the fact that this did feel kind of crowbarred into the larger point of, I'm looking forward to what he's going to do with Superman. It's like, I mean, I don't think it's unreasonable to interpret that this, okay, you're kind of going overboard here, dude. It's like, we get it. You didn't like Man of Steel. It's like, and that kind of led into, some thoughts I posted earlier. Showing up here. I mean, it kind of goes into the larger, of course, Snyder related discussion. Let me go ahead and bring it up here. So, by the way, how's it going, Aaron? So yeah, I shared this, a few other things. I said, part of the reason that's like I haven't really been as on board with there's the argument that's been made, Zach's thriving at Netflix or doing other things, so just leave it be with the his unmade portion of the Justice League story. And I said here, part of the reason I've never really bought into that is his haters just can never seem to they just can't seem to stop talking about their disdain for him and his body of work, especially with DC. And I raised the question, okay, so if they aren't expected to move on, why should we? And
see, here's the thing, and I wanted to do it wait till I was on screen with you, is why are these assholes part of our conversation these days? You know what I mean? These his haters are worthless to us. They are absolutely worthless to us. The mere mention of them, I just wasted. Look at that. I can't get that oxygen back that I just wasted. I mean, they're never going to stop. I'm never going to stop wanting the completion of the story, but it has nothing to do with those pieces of shit. I mean, nothing to do with those pieces of shit. I mean, they got in the news today. They became part of conversations that they had no business being in. And like I said, this is a Mark Waid thing. And we've known his opinion. I've known his opinion. I realized uncomfortability when I told him his Man of Steel reminded me of his Kingdom Come Superman. I don't think he quite appreciated that, but it's what I thought. But when it comes to Zack Snyder's haters and stuff on the internet, let them drift soullessly into the internet. I mean,
I think also just in a vacuum, him talking about you're looking forward to James Gunn. I mean, I think part of it's also, the fact that that it is clearly, at least in the suit, if not necessarily in the story, it is drawing a Kingdom Come influence. I mean, obviously, comic creators, they really tend to get excited when it's like, oh, you're taking my story, you're taking elements of my story and turning it into a movie or a TV show or what have you. So I mean, and that's just that's I would too if I were in that situation.
Well, Alex Ross did the same thing. That's even though to me this is not, if you're gonna, like I said, gonna do Kingdom Come, I'm all for James Gunn tackling Kingdom Come. I'm all for James Gunn tackling Kingdom Come, but I don't want Kingdom Come light. I don't want because people say, well, not everything, and I'm one of those people like everything needs to be exact adaptation. But the difference between the Kingdom Come and any of those other comparisons I've made is the time where it takes place. Kingdom Come is not a contemporary story. It is a future possibility, and the age of the people involved is really significant in where they are in life and what they've let happen in life. So to me, that's the core of the story. But you know what? It's entertainment. If it comes out, like I said, this is the one thing about the difference, the way this has been all business handled, and I'm no longer tethered to it. And as far as I don't even get angry anymore. I'm disappointed in the way the pace of things have gone on. But if Superman sucks, I got Fantastic Four. If Superman is great, I got Fantastic Four. If Superman is mediocre, I got Fantastic Four 3 weeks later. It's like I'm not attached. I am here for the taking, DC. I am not as far away. I'm not so far away I can't hear you calling me back. But right now, you're not calling me with anything. And there's a whole bunch of other things out there that are really got me jazzed up today for it. So, and you're just not one of them anymore.
Yeah. So, and of course, I shared some other thoughts I had here about about just the general conversation of whether fans should move on or not. And it's like, well, why are we the only fandom that gets asked to do that? And then, more talk about just kind of the commentary around Zach, whether he's with DC or not. Just kind of those are my thoughts I put out on Twitter today. And it wasn't even necessarily so much about Mark Waid himself. It was just kind of the just kind of my analysis of the larger conversation around it. But here it is. If you guys want, if you got any thoughts on what I shared here, it's right here on my Twitter.
Yeah, I say, like I said, I implore each and every one of you to treat the overt Zack Snyder detractors as if they don't exist. Somebody's got to be the grown up in the room to walk away from the screaming kid. I hope it's us one day. I really do hope it's us. Otherwise, we're just conversation is just spirals into nothingness,
And by the way, because you mentioned to Mark Waid that you saw Kingdom Come influences in Man of Steel. And one area we actually can, it's not in the movie itself, but one of the posters, Superman kind of standing in semi silhouette. I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I have that blown up.
And that's obviously taken right out of one of the Kingdom Come Superman covers. So you can definitely see.
But here's one thing people got to realize: Mark Waid comes from a different era. He has his version of Superman. He has that, and that's the thing about Superman is the word as he wrote it with bad management and idiot fans is that the erosion of the fact that you can't appreciate that that's somebody's Superman. That when you come in, when people say this dumb shit on the internet, when the Cro-Mags get on there and try to stick it to some other person's Superman, that is somebody's Superman. That means something to somebody.
Yes,
and the general appreciation from Superman fans are the worst at this because he's the oldest superhero. Superman fans are by far the worst at this, and a lot of people are guilty of it. Is they cannot appreciate that the Superman that you're shitting on belongs to somebody else. But all of us, as collectively, can appreciate that even though we have these versions of these Supermen, that the next one belongs to someone as well. And you shouldn't shit, and you should have never shit on the next one coming out. They shouldn't have done it in 13. They shouldn't be doing it now. And had we had the adult mindset to not do that, these Supermen would run their course, and then everybody would have one.
Well, and that all that also kind of speaks to everything you said about not being a fan of the one universe at a time mindset, because then it's like then it's like, well, then everybody gets a Superman under that business model.
Well, under 85 years, like I said, you have to honor every Superman that has ever been if you're going to do this right. You're going to have to understand that, like I said, the Christopher Reeve Superman is going to be stuck in people's craw forever because that's the one that means something to them. The Zack Snyder one, the Henry Cavill one, is that's never not going to mean something to the people that like that. The difference between the Zack Snyder one, the distinction that the Zack Snyder one has that all these other ones have had, with the exception of Brandon Routh, because that was a disaster, is you got your run of the character. Every version of Superman has gotten a full run of the character to the point where you got, 1s, 2s, and 3s of that, and that was done. Christopher Reeve got two movies.
And we're about to get the run of the character with Tyler Hoechlin.
Yeah, even the shitty CW channel, which produced finally after 20 years, produced a good show or a watchable show. You're gonna get a full run. George Reeves got a full run. All the fucking cartoons got full runs. The only one of these things that did not get a full run or a full resolution or a decent exposure was the Henry Cavill one. So that one sets itself apart just on that alone. So that's a problem. And saying it's going to be the same thing with Batman. It's the same thing with the Batman situation. Every Batman got its run. Christopher Nolan's Batman got its run. The Batman of the 90s, even though you could argue they were different and whatever, but it was considered to be the same movie. You got 4 movies in the 90s. Batman TV show got far longer than it ever should have, but it was the 60s. Every version of Batman got some type of complete run, except for the one that happened during this era. So yeah, that's a sticking point, but that's on them. But as far as going forward goes, I'm like, the problem with this is if the disingenuous thing about it when it comes to the shitheads, and I'm not talking about the legit people that are looking forward to the next Superman movie. I'm talking about the shitheads whose only reason for retweeting and reposting is they have a mental issue with other fans. If I'm not happy or sad about what I'm going to spend my money on based on what you guys think, give a fuck what you guys think about what I spend my money on, and I expect you to have the same feeling towards me. I don't spend your money, you don't spend mine, and I'm sure as hell not going to be looking for content to throw back at you. That's a waste of time. That to me, that's you're not right in the head. So that's it. We started the show at
well, not
21
quite
minutes.
not quite it, because there is one thing I did want to tack on. It's not quite related to Mark Waid, but it is related to Zack Snyder, because as we all know, the man he does love to stir the pot, and he
oh no, not this.
Oh yes, this we got to share this.
But
this is being shared on Twitter by actually our 300 subscriber
South
Cali.
I saw it. I didn't repost it because I didn't. It's a picture. It's what are we doing?
So yeah, this is. Let me see if I can blow it up full size here. There we go. Yeah, so Zach shared this on Vero a few hours ago. I don't think I ever showed the storyboards. So this is clearly, a storyboard of, the nightmare scene at the end of ZSJL with the, truce. I gave you the Joker card, etc. I'm actually kind of surprised he did, because that round of extra filming they got to do, that was somewhat compressed and only added, 10 minutes or so of the movie. And it was done during COVID. So I'm actually kind of surprised he even did storyboards for that part of it. But pleasant surprise. And yes, he didn't show these storyboards. So yes, Zach, no, you didn't show storyboards from this. So please, if you would be so kind, feel free to continue.
I don't want to see the. I want to see the story. I don't want to see any more of this. I want to see the story. I don't, because if the more of this comes out, I want to see the story. You know what I mean? I mean, is this leading to the story? Then yeah.
Well, maybe it is leading, or maybe it's like a little bit like I'm going to throw a little bit of a droplet out here to kind of, because again, like I said, he's I think we can all agree he does love to stir the pot.
Yeah, but at some point I need the dish.
Yeah.
This is the cryptic other stuff like that. I just, like I said, I need some. My brain has been impacted by so much of this, having to break all these damn codes the last 8 years. I just give me the answer, man. I mean, what's next? I mean, this is leading to something. If it's not, it's just like it leads to the exhaustion when it comes to me on all ends of this. It's like, oh, what I mean, you want to get behind something like this, but you're like, okay, you could stir the pot forever.
He stirred the pot for 2.5 years last time, so
yeah, I'm just like, great. So, I mean, I love the scene. I mean, it was
I love that nightmare ending.
But I'm like,
by the way, if I am going to go like a little bit tinfoil hat here, notice how he says this is a storyboard, and he says I don't think I ever showed the storyboards, plural. And this is
he said he had multiple. Remember, because the ones that were in Dallas or AT&T, or those are
those are the whiteboards that lays out like the general story. But yes, I this has occurred to me. It's like this is one storyboard, and he said I don't think I've shown the storyboards. So yes, Zach, if you would be so kind, feel free to continue gracing us with these wonderful behind-the-scenes peeks and general stirring of the pot that you are such a expert at doing. So
no, Zach. Listen. Let me know when you've been given the green light by somebody to tell
that too. That'd be
story. Awesome. Until then, I that's what I want to see it. I want to see it when it's presented. I don't want to see bits and pieces of something that's just going to annoy me. The fact that it's just going to remind me everything we went through and just basically be left in. No, give me this when it's ready. Give me this when or you can start giving me this when I know it's coming. Because otherwise, it's just like.
So, but like I said, I was kind of surprised that he, because again, the time frame of the additional filming, again was very late in the game. It was during COVID. It was basically two scenes. It was the nightmare and the Martian Manhunter scene. So yeah, I was kind of surprised that he actually did actual storyboarding for it. But
why though?
Huh?
That man storyboards everything.
What? No, I get that, but it's like again, it amounts to like 10 minutes of the movie. So, and these are storyboards that like are akin to what he like those binders full of them that he showed on Vero, where I mean where it's like during part of like the proper principal photography of it. So I mean it's I would have thought like maybe like just some kind of like general kind of a sketches or things like that. But I mean hey, it's like I mean he knows what he's doing. He's been very clear. He storyboards. He storyboards every. Part of me is like I've even thought about that too when he's like he's pulled like on some of the live streams he's done. He's pulled up the binders. Here's storyboards from here and here and here. And I mean from Man of Steel, BVS. I mean the things are this damn thick, and it's like how. And I just think about like, man, how much time does he put into these storyboards? And then that's just for those two. And then I think he said for Rebel Moon, he did more storyboards than he did for anything he's ever made. So, and again, BBS is like that damn thick. So,
yeah, like I said, when you're ready to present, I'm ready to accept. This road in between, I'm not interested in it, man.
Well, let's say if this is like presenting the beginning of the presentation, maybe.
Then when I know there's a presentation, and I'm fine.
I think that'd be fun though. It's like because I remember listening to like Squadcast, the Squadcast guys, and Film Junkie or Chris Wong Swanson. During that whole period, when every time he dropped one of these, everybody would be just kind of scrambling to break it down, and the internet's just going crazy about it. So I don't know. I think now that we're like really taking off, it's like it'd be kind of fun. Like we had like something like this to like kind of have some fun with.
Oh no, because it's conspiracy theory. I just like I said, we went through that point, to get to the certain point, and now it's like especially with the DCU. I'm not even like I said. I'm trying as a comic book store owner to get excited about what's coming forward, and I'm just not. And this just adds to that non-excitement because you're showing me the in lieu of instead of like, if it's not by accident, guys, that you could probably count on your hand how much DC live action I've been covering. I mean, the Penguin this week is going to probably be
I'm looking for the Penguin
because that's relevant. That's actually happening.
And then Superman and Lois, that's more so me on here, but
that's you because I for the fans of Superman and Lois, you have somebody on here that can articulate that for you. But as far as live action cinematic DC, I'm nowhere with it right now. I'm elated that Damon Lindelof is going to be doing a Green Lantern story, but I'm a today guy. Fuck, that might be like 2-3 years down the line, or maybe at 2 years at the minimum. I'm just trying to get through this week, so I'm cool that some of these things are happening with people that I like, but at the same time, as of the now, I'm just like I'm not really excited about I'll keep an eye on it, but I'm not really. I mean, I'm more excited about Absolute DC than I ever could be about James Gunn's.
Well, Absolute DC, obviously, that looks.
And that's not me hating. It's not me hating James Gunn's DCU. I just don't care, and I don't want to lie to all these people and act like I'm excited about something that I'm not really excited about yet. I don't know if that could change, but as of now, I don't care. And like I said, this is connected to that. Zack Snyder talk is connected to James Gunn. James Gunn talk is connected. There is no separation. So when we bring up one, I'm like, it's just like my brain starts running a marathon that I just don't want to run anymore.
Well, I don't know, Zach, if you're watching, we're kind of of two minds in the Sci-Fi Center. Williams, like, don't give us more lists unless there's something like athlete in the works. I'm saying whether or not you got something athlete in the works, keep
Zach,
coming, man.
I will support whatever you put out. Whatever is happening, or whatever you tell, you tell us, hey, this is happening. I'm going to be where I've been since the beginning. But right now, just the DC cinematic talk right now, there's just nothing to talk about that I care about. I don't care about the Superman movie coming out. I'm going to give it its chance, and it could change my mind like Peacemaker. But right now, for everything I've seen of it, I don't like the costume. Most of the characters in it are things that would make me pretty much stay home. But at the same time, so is the guy with the toilet bowl on his head in Peacemaker. So I'm going to give it its chance. the Commandos movie, I don't have anything to lose by, first 15. I'm going to give that 20 minutes. If I like it, I'll give it some more. But at this point, I'm not like, it's not like when you start talking to me about Fantastic Four or things like that. I'm excited about that. We could do a whole stream about Fantastic Four if you want to. I'm excited about that. But I'm not excited about this other stuff. That they've turned the light bulb, and it's all connected. It all leads to, you can't talk James Gunn without talking while he's there. You can't talk Zack Snyder without having to wonder whether you're even looking forward to spending in years of investment into something that you might be empty-handed with. So I just kind of, like I said, go ahead and flip through our thumbnails for the past year. If you can find 10 that have to do with the DCU since it's been announced, then I'll give you a free movie ticket or something and just send them to me. But I'm sorry, guys.
By the way, I did have some fun with this too. I actually did make a little bit of a DC in joke when I quote tweeted this with from The Dark Knight Rises, or it said, "Oh boy, you're in for a show tonight," which is a direct quote from The Dark Knight Returns. So that is a little bit of a in joke, because I mean, it's like when he does this, that's the thing that clicks in my mind. It's like the reactions is like, "Yeah, you're in for a show tonight." So yeah, I think that's probably a good place to kind of wrap it up on all the Snyder DC talk. But Zach, if you're watching, please listen more.
I mean, I don't people keep the Zack Snyder. No, I'm not. I'm tired, guys. I'm tired. I mean, if the conversation were going somewhere, I will be the first one to jump on that train. But right now, it's going somewhere. The whole DC cinematic universe, whatever DCU, is going a place that right now just don't care about. Everyone got their Joker. I'm probably going to run out of cinema.
Yeah, probably. One thing about Savannah too is, like, I mean, we theaters around here, we very seldom. The last time I remember anything like actively selling out was probably Endgame and maybe some shows of No Way Home.
Vegas, and then, of course, Vegas is not going to happen because we have so many showings.
And the post pandemic, I mean, I don't think I've seen anything other than a couple shows. Well, maybe more than a couple. It's like a fair amount of shows of No Way Home. Other than that, I don't think I've seen anything sell out here. So I'm not terribly concerned about Joker 2 selling out. But I mean, I'll still probably get my ticket early for that. But that's coming up like 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, it's coming up. Yeah, they're not doing a screening out here in Vegas so far because Warner Brothers doesn't consider us a worthy market. Thanks a lot.
What? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, there you go.
Imagine Comic Con really does move out there.
But I'm probably going to run out a small theater and just do a promotion and in-store promotion here in Vegas.
By the way, that is actually live action DC stuff that we're mutually going to be covering, and we will both be covering that. Exactly.
Yeah, it's not really.
Ruth. Well, I mean, it's a reimagining, but
it's not connected to. It's not. I'm not buying a world. There's no Joker world,
Ruth. I've seen the chat in a minute. William Brad, I read yesterday Batman is set to become the first superhero in history to get a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Thoughts? If you get someone a star, who would you choose? Yes, this is true. Batman is getting a star. I think Superman should too. Perfectly honest.
I think Superman already has one.
Well, not Batman's going to be the first one.
Hold on.
Ruth, this is so perfect. I would give Brad a star to his commitment to the Raid franchise. I would give Gareth and Nico. I would give them stars, definitely. I would give Brent Foster one. I would give Scott Adkins one. I would give Michael J. one.
He is the first one. So I guess Superman would be. Christopher Reeve already has one. Let's see. There's several actors who played him that have. Yeah, Christopher Reeve has one.
Definitely would give Zack Snyder one. I would give. Who else would I give? I'm pretty sure Bruce Lee has one. Jackie Chan has one. I think Brandon Lee should have one if he doesn't. Yeah, there's definitely lots of people I would give stars to. How long is that walk?
I don't know, but there's no real qualifications. If you pay to do it, you give them $20,000. They have to put you down there.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, like, when are they going to run out of room, or like when do they have to expand it?
Some of them have been moved around, so I don't know how much room. Because Hollywood, it goes all the way up to Hollywood Hills, so it's pretty.
Okay.
And there's not that many. You got to realize there's like less than 0.25% of people are that famous to ever get to that. Get to that level. So this should be still some time.
Silent Forgotten. Hi, Brad. Okay. Hi. New view earlier. Second.
I think he was talking to you earlier.
Oh yeah. Let me see if I can go up here. New viewer, I guess. First I've seen. You Silent Forgotten.
No, he's been here.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Mhm.
I must have missed that. Will do Stanley. I'm pretty sure Stanley. He has to have one. Come on.
I don't think Jack Kirby
Yeah,
has one.
unfortunately.
Stan Lee does.
God, Jack Kirby got so screwed out of so many things, dude. And that's not really Stanley's fault. It's just more Stanley. He was better equipped at being kind of the. He was better equipped to like handle being like the public face of a comic book company.
Well, he was the publisher and the editor. Jack Kirby
Yeah.
wasn't. See, that's the thing is he didn't have to make the connections that Jack Kirby. I mean, Jack Kirby didn't have to make the connections that Stan Lee had to get the thing going to the first place. He had to have a charismatic personality. Jack Kirby just wasn't that type of guy, so he kind of got hidden in that respect. But there's no platform for Jack Kirby in that era to excel if Stan Lee doesn't make all those deals and become the face, because Marvel just didn't grow out of nowhere. Stan Lee and he got the people together, to finance it and get it going from timely and all the way through. It was a long process for him. So Jack Kirby gets overlooked. And it's just like, but as the publisher, as the head of the company, it's like, do you know the people that work for Amazon, or do you know who Jeff Bezos is? It's it's unfortunate, but that's just the way it is.
Silent Forgotten. I mean, I use a new subscriber on free, which I wasn't here for, unfortunately, because I had to be up early that Saturday, or earlier than I usually have to
Okay, yeah, that was your first one. Yeah, we had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, no. And we decided, I think, because we were talking about wanting to do, damn it, was it the Minority Report this Saturday? Because that would be the one Ashley wants to make her debut on here with. But
we got to figure out.
But
how
also,
we're
we got to
doing.
do our charity for Twilight of the Gods. So we're trying to figure out when best to time that. Rational Skeptic, thanks for the super chat. William has employees at the Sci-Fi Center. Will me and Forth get a pension? And what about healthcare benefits? Otherwise, we could go to Midtown Comics.
I will see you next time I'm at Midtown Comics.
That's in New York, right?
Yeah. Thank you for the super chat, though.
Yeah,
That'll go into your pension fund.
The place to be where comic books and wrestling collide. Yes, they do. Yes, yes. Saturday is Batman Day. In fact, are they putting anything? Because they put like the whole Dark Knight trilogy out last year. So I don't think they're doing anything like that this year, though. We're not doing it like
I know I'm doing something in the store. We're handing out free buttons. So.
Yeah, I went and saw The Dark Knight again. I think that was probably my 6th time I'd seen it theatrically.
I've seen it once theatrically, and after that, I watch Heath Ledger scenes. Because without Heath Ledger, that movie is nothing for me. William,
what would the game-changing comic story if you had to do one for the Punisher?
Game-changing? I would have him involved in a local assassination plot. Maybe trying to stop one against the police, even though he does not like the police. Having to stop him.
No, I think he's asking like, what would it be like the ones we talk about on the Saturday show, like the game changing, the turning point story.
Oh, I thought you were talking about within. Oh, I don't know. It's Tuesday night, guys.
Yeah,
I'm not that far in advance yet.
I mean, like ones that like get brought up a lot are things like Welcome Back, Frank, and what else? Yeah, like that one's telling it's like the Punisher Max series.
Okay, all right. Well, there's nothing he's done that's game changing. Max sucked. I hate that whole line that they tried to do. The covers were really good and the artwork was really good, but the stories were just muted stories of the characters. I'm like, you can't. That's probably one of the only few times that Daredevil had a bad run. And a really bad run, but I don't know. I just don't think of that era is that good. I know Bendis was part of that, but man, that whole and then they did the Marvel Knights, and I'm like, okay, guys, just we don't need to do this anymore. Child's Play. The story where the Frank Miller story with Daredevil and him, that was sort of a game changer, but there's really no game changing. He's just not that character. He's not the character that changes the game. He's a support character, but he's also a detailed character.
Well, he started out as Spider-Man villain.
Yeah, for like literally 14 seconds. And then he
went on to Captain America. Once Mike Zeck got a hold of him, Mike Zeck really is the person who took that character and put him on a roller coaster because he got him in Captain America when Mike Zeck was doing Captain America, and he took him and did his miniseries with him, and that's where Punisher sort of exploded. And after the miniseries, about 8 months later, he got his own series with Klaus Janson, and then War Journal and Jim Lee, Willis Portacio. That was a title that Jim Lee was on before he was on. In fact, Jim Lee started Punisher War Journal before he was on X-Men. That's where he got a big boost there. But he was always a supporting character unless you cared about him. I liked him because he was cool. He played with, he was a military guy that played with a lot of cool stuff that I knew about.
Yeah, I just thought of this too, talking about the Punisher, because he's had kind of an up and down here, history cinematically and on television. Netflix show is actually really good. And the Thomas Jane, I've gone back and forth with that over the years, but I kind of settled on the Thomas Jane movie's pretty good. I love Punisher Warzone, and I even kind of I have a soft spot for the Dolph Lundgren Punisher movie. But it just popped. I don't know why it popped in my head, but Ghost Rider, the first one. I think I could see the first one as being like a phase 1 or phase 2 MCU movie, and Spirit of Vengeance. I was looking forward to that so much. I should love it because it's so heavy metal. But man, I hated that, and I haven't revisited it since.
I would personally, I've never been a big fan of either Ghost Rider. The first two Punisher movies, I thought were good vigilante movies. I thought neither of them were good Punisher movies. If you understand the character, that's not the Punisher. That's a vigilante. Punisher, the closest that Punisher has come in the motion picture or motion is the Barenthal one. That's how he acts. That's what he cares about. Those are his priorities, and he acts on those priorities. All that shit all that fluff that they added to those two movies, were that's great. Those were more of a Death Wish type shit, than Punisher movies. But the actual one was probably the most accurately portrayed. The one was with John Barenthal. So I'll give them that. Mm-hmm. I don't need to see him interacting with superheroes again, because that's not his strength. Even though Daredevil's the coolest one to be around, that's not the strength of the Punisher.
Well, he isn't born again.
Yeah, see, and I think if you're going to do that, it needs to be sparingly. I would, as somebody who's not a big fan of having everybody from the Netflix Daredevil universe have a fucking show again or have that much prominence, if you were going to do one, he would be the one. He fits in today's climate. He fits in today's contemporary storytelling, and he needs to be on his own. He does not need to be in the presence of other people all the time. Most of Punisher's development came when he stopped being a guest character and started being the Punisher. His mentality about things. He's not okay in the head, as you can see. So if any of those characters, I would like to see, especially in this time of storytelling, and in the era of the John Wicks and the the type of Monkey Man situation or a Beekeeper, Punisher fits properly into those things. Not so much martial arts, because he's not a martial artist per se. He's good.
He's not. He's not flashy. He's not theatrical. He's not his fighting style.
He's not going to be John Wick.
Yeah,
that's not how Punisher's going to try to beat you.
He's not going to kick you in the head. He's not going to do a lot of not that's not cool. I mean, obviously
he's true armed forces. We're armed force.
Yeah, so, he goes hand to hand. When he's disarmed, basically.
Yeah. If somebody knocks the gun out, he runs out of bullets, and
really, if anything, and I'm kind of in the middle of that's one of the arts I'm training right now. Is the best thing to show for him as far as like a hand to hand style would be Krav Maga. Like he would be he'd be a Krav Maga guy. I think I would imagine like the best encapsulate him in a fight scene.
Yeah, he has a skill, but he's not like Batman. Batman and Daredevil are literally ninja. They can take on ninjas and beat ninjas. Ninjas that ninjas are like coming out of nowhere and And you can't. That's Batman is going to be coming out of nowhere against them. And Daredevil's going to be the same way. Daredevil more so because he can sense them in ways that Batman cannot. So, but that's where I would be Punisher, Child's Play.
Yeah. I like Punisher. Rune says I like Punisher and Daredevil season more. Even though I love season 1 of Punisher, what's weird about season 1 of Punisher that hit on Netflix the same day that the theatrical Justice League dropped. So, and that ended up being like, I think we can all agree that ended up being like the best comic book movie material we got that weekend. No, he's great in season, and of course everybody said that rooftop scene, the back and forth, the debate that he and Daredevil have, that's just like and what's so cool about that is they save the action in that show for the very end, and that's when they have their one-shot hallway fight scene in season 2, but they save it for the very, very end. So you really get like 2 like really great kind of slices of thematic material in that episode. You've got the philosophical debate between Daredevil and Punisher in that episode, and then you cap it off with this crazy fight scene that Daredevil has. So
they remember I told you they took that from Child's Play. If you read Child's Play,
yeah.
That back and forth came from there.
And there's one point. Damn it! What story was this the cover for? But Daredevil, like I'll keep it vague for anybody who hasn't seen the episode. But Punisher, like he tapes a revolver into Daredevil's hand and basically tries to make him like shoot a bad guy with it. But by the time we get to the fight scene, Daredevil he's got a chain on one hand, he's got that gun taped in the other, and so right when the fight scene's starting, he like clocks a guy in the back, and there's this image of like him pointing the gun like this. He's like, "Hey, I'm good." And it's like that's taken like directly from like what cover is that from?
We brought that up. I think it's Daredevil 184.
Yeah, I think. Do you have that? Like, I'm sure you got it in the store. Is that hanging right behind you there in the store?
No, not that one because I sold that one.
Yeah, let me see. I'll pull it up real quick. Bring me. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that jumped out when I saw that.
Yeah, 184.
I wonder if there might be like any kind of like one of those like comparison images.
There was. We bought it up that day because this was part of the Child's Play story that I've been telling you about. Dude, you got to get some sinus medicine.
No, it's just a change of seasons. Because really, once it starts getting to fall and the pollen goes away, but that's like the lack of it, kind of like my body needs to like, oh, okay, you got to cough for like a day or two.
Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah.
Here, hold on, I'll bring it up.
Yeah. That's the cover. And this is the image in the show. So pretty clear homage there.
See it?
Oh, was that season 3?
It's the gun, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, so they did in season 3 too, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Here you go. Yeah. All right, let's hit the chat.
And I can't wait for Born Again. I just need, because season 3 is like some of the, that might be like the best, like, and Superman and Lois is the one thing that's kind of given us some competition for me now. Season 3 of Daredevil might be like the best like individual season of like superhero TV and live action I've ever seen.
I'm gonna go with Watchmen.
With Daredevil season 3, it is just it is phenomenal. It is, and of course it's an adaptation of Born Again. It tweaks some elements, but this show was just firing all cylinders for me constantly. Daredevil is like, that was where that started like Marvel on television for me. I'm so glad it's coming back in sync with what they started with. Let's see. What would you say in terms of fighting style? William would be closer. I think he's talking about the Punisher. Would be closer to Steve Rogers. Oh hell no, he's not like Steve Rogers. Like he's a gymnast. He is. Watch him in the Avengers movies, like whirling all over the place. And
and the mentality is going to be different in their fighting. Captain America is trying to defend himself and subdue you. Punisher is trying to kill you. So it's
that's true. Yeah. Which it's a similar dynamic to Daredevil because Captain America, he's another character who has very philosophical differences with the Punisher. So he's and the whole point of Captain America is that he's he's meant to be like peak physical condition that a human being can be at. So they always like take advantage of that in fight scenes with him, where they really show him like just, I mean, he's flipping around, he's twirling, he's doing spinning kicks, he's integrating his fighting style with the shield, and so again, it's similar to Daredevil, where it's like there's a lot of fireworks to his fighting style, and with Punisher, it's very direct, it's overtly. I mean, his goal, he's not killing you as a last resort, he's killing you as the first resort.
Yeah, that's the mission, is to get rid of you, take you off the playing field. And
he's only even fighting hand to hand in the first place if he's been disarmed. So
yeah, sniper rifle, bomb. I mean, it just looks like all the tools that the military would use to kill you.
I do the runaway and hope to get away. I mean, so, I mean, usually it's the most advisable option is remove yourself from the situation. That's what any teacher would tell you. William, according to the Wrap, Hollywood Reporter, and Variety, all of which William is a huge fan of, Frank Castle is going to be in the first few episodes of Born Again because Matt's defending him as a client. That'd be interesting.
That's fine, but that's sparingly and under the right circumstances. Because, like I said, I think that character needs. There's a lot more to the Punisher than just a guest star type of deal.
Daredevil is blind. Yes, he is, Drogon.
I saw that. What do you want me to do about that one?
He's a street fighter. I don't know if I'd classify Punisher as that's more kind of like, I would say that more of like Luke Cage as far as his fighting style. Like Punisher, he's a tactical fighter, is what he is.
Yeah, Luke Cage also has superhuman strength, though.
Exactly. So, you talk about like a street fighter fighting style. So yeah, I think that's like, Frank, again, he's coming from a lot of training, but his is is the kind of training you would go into for a war zone. So his fighting style, when it goes to hand, it's very reflective of that, where it's like the hand to hand is very minimal in a war zone, and it's always about killing you. So that's what you should see in a Punisher fight scene. Let's see. Do you think we'll see Luke Cage and Jessica? You mean on Born Again? I do think we'll see them again, as well as Iron Fist. I do think we will see them again. I don't know if we'll see them. I don't think we'll see, unless they're like going to do like some surprise cameos. I don't know though. See, I have kind of gone back and forth on whether or not any of the Defenders will make a cameo.
I hope not.
If they do, I think it will be one of them. I think it's like they'll pick one. They'll say, oh, because the way Defenders end, it ends in a way where, for those of you who haven't seen it, it ends in a way where all of the other Defenders think Daredevil is dead. So if they are continuing story wise from Marvel Netflix, then it's like it would make sense they would try to account for that. So once it's clear that he's back and he's back in operation as Daredevil, I would imagine at least one of them would say, "Hey, remember us?" So
yeah, I personally I hope not. It's definitely not in Daredevil. I don't hate these characters, but I thought that was the point where we were getting a little bit cluttered. I don't need to see those characters again. Give me another season on Disney Plus. After we got a first full season of this, but I don't need to see them in their own show. I don't need to see them as repeat guest stars. I think we've seen.
Okay, so William decided to let me take over for the evening. So we definitely need to see them back in all of their own shows, and we definitely need to see that Power Man and Iron Fist team up show, because we got that. Oh no, I love it.
I mean that's fine, but we're talking about for business sake, for not choking. We can't. Like I said, the best thing about all of those characters is the one we're getting. I don't want to weigh down this thing with a bunch of unnecessary ones.
Okay, let me ask you this then. It's like,
not yet.
That's what you hope to see with the show. It's kind of like the Zaslav question I asked a while back. What do you think they're going to do? As far as like the other Defenders characters?
I think you'll see them sporadically, given the amount of episodes. How many episodes are we getting? We're getting actually more.
I think they did chop down the episode count. I think it's supposed to be it was going to be 18. They chopped down to 13. I think.
Okay, that's still significantly longer than most of the shows. I think, given the length, you could see them sprinkled throughout the 13 to 14 episodes. I don't think you'll see them like you did on Netflix, and nor do I think you need to. They were the universe onto their own, onto themselves, and now they're coming in.
Oh no, it's actually gonna be pretty tight. It's gonna be 9 episodes.
Oh, see, that sucks.
That's shorter because the shortest like individual season on Netflix was Defender season 1. That was 8 episodes. So yeah. If that's the real estate they have for it, then again, I would say I do want to see all 3 of those characters again. I do want to see them. Even though I wasn't that big a fan of Jessica Jones, it's like they're definitely people who are. So I'd say, yeah. I mean, I would. You'll be definitely some more so than others. Yeah, I want
my bingo card has none of them on there. My bingo card, and it's nothing against any of those characters. You only have so much space and time to tell a story before you have to go into hibernation for another year or however long it's going to get other seasons. And when you have a titular character, that's who you need to really focus on. And that character has his own surrounding. He's got his own inner circle.
I was about to say, like, as far as like their individual futures, not necessarily what they're going to do on Born Again.
I would say 50-50. Did you ever see these characters again? 50.
Yeah,
I would say actually 40-60. 40-60.
I go more 80-20. I think it's very. I think you will be seeing all 3 of them again. I think it was again. I wasn't that big on Jessica Jones, but I did like season 1.
I doubt Power Man and Iron Fist. Those are my highest doubts. Power Man, Jessica Jones. I can see Jessica Jones. Whether you love them or not, I don't see the business reasons for bringing them into this. They got the character that they wanted, or the 2 characters that they wanted out of this. Primarily Daredevil. It's just,
as far as Born Again, because again, this Power Man, Iron Fist, I'm definitely want to see more of those guys. Jessica Jones, I mean, I could go either way, but as far as like them having a presence on Born Again, if and now having seen, okay, it's going to be 9 episodes, which is half of the count they initially had. So, and that's
I don't like. Why did they change that? Did they?
Oh, it was probably
I think that was a JPEG.
Well, it's probably part of the overhaul when they said we're going to take this back to what we were doing on Netflix. So I think with that, bearing that in mind, I would say if you do see any of the 3 of them on there, it will be one of them, and it will probably be a cameo. It will probably be just like, hey, glad to see you're alive, kind of thing. That'll probably be the extent.
And that'd be fine. I'm on board with that. I just don't want to. I want this limited time I have with Daredevil to be Daredevil. It's just like I feel the same thing about Spider-Man. Guys, stop it with the Daredevil Spider-Man team up in one of these movies. You only have so much time to tell a Spider-Man story, and we've already sacrificed like 75% of Tom Holland's time on screen being somebody else's bitch or sharing the screen with some other alpha. He's the alpha. He's the alpha. It's time to tell the story about the guy in your title character. If it's Daredevil, that's who I want to see. If it's Spider-Man, that's who I want to see.
Arun's got an interesting point here. I could see Jessica Jones and Elektra coming back. I mean, again, I think you will see.
Well, Elektra's a Daredevil character. These other ones are not.
Yeah, I think you will see all, as far as like their individual futures. I think you will see all the Defenders back. As far as Elektra, that's it, because that's interesting, because it's like, I mean, Elodie Young has said, yeah, she definitely would want to return. I mean, Defenders ends in a way where it's like, it looks like she died.
And I need guys.
Yeah,
I don't mind you bringing her actress back. I don't mind you bringing that actress back. But that portrayal of Elektra, that needs to change.
In fact, let me see. Is she listed on here? I don't think she is.
If you bring back Elektra,
no, she's not.
I need that portrayal. That was out of all the characters of this show, her characters I had the highest hope for, and her character was the weakest portrayal as far as Elektra goes. I hope they use some inspiration. I hope they go back to Elektra Assassin. I hope they go back to 168 Daredevils, and because that Elektra, to me, a lot of the stuff that was not Daredevil that happened during that show, she kind of fell into that type of association thing. And you got to study that character to do a better job with that character. I think the actress that they have is perfect. That's fine, but the portrayal of Elektra I thought was the weakest of all the Daredevil characters.
I mean,
there.
No. I think she got a lot of redemption in Deadpool Wolverine.
Well, it doesn't make the movie that she was in any good, unfortunately.
Well, again, it's like, I think again, I've said before, it's like I think if I were a betting man, I would say you will see a Wesley Snipes Logan style send off Blade movie before you see the Mahershala Ali one, if at all.
But if the Mahershala Ali will be why you get a Wesley Snipes, because you're not going to risk that kind of money on. I'm sorry, you're going to get somebody fired. But going back to Elektra, that needs to improve. But she, out of all these characters, is really the only one with the that's the one good thing about the movie. Elektra is the only one besides Daredevil himself that should feature prominently during the storyline, because that is a Daredevil character. She's entirely a Daredevil. All these other characters are not Daredevil characters. They're not in his inner circle. If you read the comic, they're not there. They're there occasionally, and when you make some bad comics, they get canceled. But no, Elektra is integral in his storytelling. It's integral in his development. So yeah, her being there, if I had to, she should be one of those 70-30 characters or 80-20 characters. Everybody else,
no, I think you're likely to see. But again, it's like as far as like
okay, cameos, but cameos are as a part of the story. You're more likely and justified to see Elektra as part of the Daredevil story and not just a cameo. These other ones are just add-ons.
That's what I'm thinking though. Is like, as far as like, will she be in? Because I think we'll see Elektra again. Will you see her in Born Again? I think that's another one I give 80-20. In fact, I might give that 90-10.
Yeah, I would give that. Yeah, because she legitimately needs to be there. These other characters, be honest with you, you can tell a good, strong Daredevil story without any of those characters. Whereas there's a better case to be made for Elektra, especially now in these days. If you guys are reading currently now, there's a real hot, good story going on with them right now. But yeah, that's about it. I just hope that they take this one step at a time, and don't try to clutter this new beginning, this new shot we got with this character.
Listen, say what you will about the Daredevil movie. I played the hell out of that soundtrack in high
It's
school.
the only good thing about the movie.
That soundtrack kicked ass.
It's the only thing about the movie. Lost in the Rain by Revis. There's some really good music on there.
Learn the Hard Way by Nickelback. Yeah,
that movie blew.
Oh, I didn't hate it. Come on,
movie.
I love it, but I mean
that. You know what? The thing about Daredevil, and is I hate movies that have an excellent cast where people are really trying their best, but they just don't have anything to work with. Look at the stars in that. That movie sucked, and you had Michael Duncan Clark, rest in peace. You had
Ben Affleck.
You had Ben Affleck. You had Culver. You had top tier Academy Award level, and that movie fucking sucks.
How much? And maybe this would be a good question to ask Zach at some point. Like how much of a role do you think Ben's portrayal of Daredevil played in him becoming Batman?
None.
You don't think so?
I'm going to say none. But I can't answer that for him. But I'm going to.
I know Colin Farrell's portrayal of Bullseye didn't get him the Penguin by any chance.
Yeah, that was a horrible. Yeah, dude. Let's not talk about that movie. That movie was
no, I don't hate it.
That movie was
not
so
at
bad.
the level of the Netflix show, but
it's not even. No, it's not at the level of anything. It's that movie. Like I said, it had some cool shots with the video when you're playing the soundtrack. The soundtrack's the only thing that keeps you in the seat. Otherwise, I was about to walk out of that movie. I remember seeing that
bar fight was pretty with the Nickelback soundtrack was pretty.
Okay,
pretty
I need to not hear that.
Come on.
That movie.
Rhea, of course. Of course.
Sure.
Are we ever gonna listen? Are we for Halloween? Are we gonna do at least one Blade watch party? And how is William gonna behave himself during that?
Why wouldn't I? I don't listen. You guys are distorting this, and I hate this character. The character is what it is. I'm a comic book guy. I know the character. I know where the character is as far as comic book them goes, and it's not anywhere near. It's not even at the middle. I don't hate the character, but you guys, like I said, especially for most of you who were not around or cognizant of what was going on around you when Blade was released, or wanting to rewrite history into some bullshit that Blade opened up his legs and shit out the Marvel Universe, and I can't do anything but laugh at you because that's bullshit. Other than that, we can watch the movies. I don't have anything against the second one. Is you like it more than I do. I think it was a waste of my money and my time. And the third one was a waste of my money and my time. The first one was a lot of fun, But I wasn't going to a Blade movie when I went with my family to see that. I was going to see one of the top grossing actors of that generation at that time. That's what everybody that was going in there. And it wasn't I was the only comic nerd in them damn theaters. But now we're in 2024. Everybody wants to like take their Crayolas out and redraw shit. I'm like, this ain't fucking first grade where history is what you think it is. It is what it is, you know? That's where I'm issue. We can watch Blade. We can watch Blade 1. I have no issue. Blade 2, that might be a problem.
Were you when you were coming out of the theater for the first one? Were you telling anybody, like any other patrons, like, oh, by the way, that's a Marvel character?
Yeah, I told them that was based on comic characters because a lot of them didn't know. Most of them did not know. And of course, 1998. 5-6 years into the business. You all you have to do is mention any comic character to me, and you can just kiss away 3 hours of your life. But yeah, none of those people knew. My parents didn't know. My sister didn't know. We all went together. Nobody knew who that was. But yet now in 2024, we've rewritten things like we're, the time trapper, and we, and like I said, we just forget about what X-Men means. That's like an insult to X-Men,
We need a Nickelback segment on Saturday. No. Yeah, I like Nickelback. Come on, why not?
We will fucking cancel the fucking show. Right.
No.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't get the hate they get either.
The chicks love them, but I'm not in.
William, do you like the Electra movie? I'm going to say no. You probably didn't, and I didn't either.
And I love Jennifer Garner. I think Electra has just been a waste of her. It could have been much better. She got that role because of one of my favorite shows of all time,
Alias. Yeah,
that's Sidney Briscoe, and it wasn't even. Listen, somebody's going to do it. There are a handful of characters that have had a lot of screen time, or more than they should have had, that they haven't done right. Elektra is one of them. Elektra has not been done right on screen yet. You've had 2 shots of it, 3 shots if you include that shitty movie. And Ross, Ra's al Ghul, hasn't been done right yet. I'm waiting. If James Gunn gives me a proper goal, you got me in the doorway. It has not been done yet. And you've had good actors who could have pulled off the roles in those roles, and they just were like, what? No, she's horrible as Elektra. I love her as an actress. She's one of, as a person, you see, I follow her on Instagram. She's one of just genuine, joyful people to watch. She does charity, all kinds of stuff. So there's nothing against Jennifer Garner. Her in that role, ugh. All right. Ugh.
Yeah, but I think it's not a high bar, but I think her performance in Deadpool Wolverine, that's definitely the high point of her Elektra tenure. Okay. Well,
that's not saying anything. That's not saying anything.
Except I'm stating what is almost certainly objective fact.
Yeah, but that's like, damn. I mean, I don't even know about an analogy because that's not really much. Those movies.
No, the Elektra movie is horrible, though. The Elektra movie is terrible.
And like I said, I'm not a huge fan. Like I said, the more talent, the more top 10 tier talent you have in a movie, I expect more out of that movie, and Daredevil was such a.
And see, the thing about it is too is the Elektra movie doesn't even feel in sync with the Daredevil movie,
which is in sync with nothing.
So I mean, it feels like, first of all, they really hand wave away how she's they don't even try comic book science or anything. They just say, oh, she's alive again after getting impaled with Psy, by Bullseye in the
that was a big and that was
because that was recreating the comics image. Now, I'm not saying it did it well. I'm just saying it did it.
This is where listen, Feige, if you take these things over and you decide to retcon the shit out of that particular part, you will have a fan right here that is on board with you. That fucking pissed me off the way that went down. I hated that, especially as a reader of the story and how that got built up and how it was executed by Frank Miller. And then I saw that and I'm like, no.
Because neither of them they're not in comic accurate suits.
It's not. And then the aftermath after that was supposed to be something big. We never got to that for obvious reasons. I just thought that. But if you read Daredevil 181, there's a build up to that. There's something. There's a build up to their relationship, which I don't ever think is portrayed properly in the show. I don't think she's portrayed properly in the show.
And this everything about that, just I hope that they retcon that. And it's sad that they did it there that way, because the rest of that show, the rest of everything else is top, is stellar. Certain things of it, I just wish that I wish you guys would have waited on that one. That didn't need to happen when it happened. That did not need. You could have waited for that, and if and or not done it. And now that it's been done, you can't really undo it in the minds of people who love that show, even though it wasn't done very well. So the death of Elektra and the resurrection of Elektra. Did you ever read the story where they resurrect her with the hand?
I don't think I did though.
Okay, Stick, all that is part of that. It all is a heavy part of that. And right then they were dealing with things in comic books that weren't being dealt with at the time. Death and resurrection in that scale. Matt dealing with the kind of the things that he was in the writing. This is Frank Miller's best shit right there. After Daredevil dies, right after Elektra dies, that is those 3 to 6 issues after that are Frank Miller's some of his best shit. Period.
Yes, because I read where she gets killed. I don't think I've read the resurrection story. By the way,
afterwards. Yeah.
Speaking of Stick, that's another thing the show does amazingly well. Is
Daredevil 190.
Daredevil 190. That's another thing the show does. Is Scott Glenn as Stick.
Yeah, he's perfectly cast.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was given as much to work with as he should. I don't think the story overall that they were doing with was given the length that it needed. There's a lot going on with Stick. Stick, in the way Frank Miller and everybody, even John Romita and Ann Nocenti, wrote him into the storyline, and then you get Typhoid Mary. Because in that character. What's up?
On Iron Fist, yeah, she was on Iron Fist season 2. Yeah, and guess what? Season 2 is phenomenal. Okay, everybody.
First of all,
skip season 1. Just go through Defenders and then go to season 2.
Okay. Why the fuck she was in that show? I don't even try to answer that because there's no good answer. There's another character whose relationship with Daredevil is intricate. It's and then you have the Kingpin in there. That the Kingpin and her have a weird fuck relationship, man. It's just weird. And there's this triangle of just psychopaths between these two. And that was when John Romita Jr. Took over the book. And even though he wasn't my favorite artist in that one, he was actually part of the writing crew. And those stories were great. The Typhoid Mary situation was great. That was an Iron Fist. I don't claim that. But
have you seen season 2?
I saw certain parts of season 2.
Well, then you can't claim it because you haven't seen it.
I claim the depiction of her.
I have.
Have you read anything with Typhoid Mary in it?
I've read the Iron Fist story it's based on. So.
Okay. Why are you on the screen?
I read the whole. And listen, David,
not an Iron Fist character. Okay, let me rephrase the question. Have you read a Daredevil story with Typhoid Mary in it?
Yes.
Which one?
Well, it's been a while, but I know I have. I need to look. I need to think back on that.
You need to read it again, because if you read that story and you see that depiction, I don't know. I guess we're seeing something else.
I read the entire Immortal Iron Fist run back when it was going. That's what I cared about with that show. Okay.
Well,
I cared about Davos. I cared about Kunlun. I cared about setting up the immortal weapons. I cared about Orson Randall.
Even doing in that shit. See, that's the problem that we had during that era of comic books. That's why the writing is so bad sometimes. Not certain characters are just not a fit for your story. I think some of these writers like these characters from reading them where they're supposed to be, and they're like, I like this character. How can I fucking shoehorn her into this shit? I'm like, no. But anyway. No, I did not like the
No, we're definitely simpatico on that. Not like
I hate that.
And I don't think Jennifer Garner did either. I think she's pretty vocal.
It was a job. It was a job. Yeah. Oh, here we go, Aztec. There you
go. No, what? I think it was. Well, I haven't seen it in like 20 years, so I couldn't tell you.
And I'm not seeing it again.
But I think it was he filmed a cameo, but it was cut out of the release version of the movie.
Yeah, the movie itself needed to be cut.
yeah, the movie is pretty awful. It's not quite Catwoman bad, but it's still pretty bad.
Now we got the Nickelback. I'm waiting for Nickelback to be in the fucking chat next.
Yeah. Well, be careful what you wish for, because I'm sure Forrest is already typing that up now.
Papa Roach. Yeah, Papa Roach is in that.
Yeah, they were one of my favorite bands as a teenager.
I watched a couple episodes of Cloak and Dagger. It wasn't bad, but that comic is hard to bring to life. They did for the budget they have that on the Me channel or some kind of some weird channel that I don't know how they even could afford the rights to it. I forgot what the channel was, but it wasn't bad. Agents of Shield, I the first couple of episodes I tapped out of that show.
I fell off like really early with Agents of Shield.
I gave the Inhuman show one episode and then I was done.
I think about everybody did. That was not a well-liked show, yeah.
Yeah. Other than that,
I'm thinking like what? Well, yeah. What is it like comic book properties are you like really episodically that you're really tuned out of very early on? I have some.
Well, I tuned out of WandaVision, but I kept watching it, even though after I just couldn't figure out where it was going.
She-Hulk is so terrible. She-Hulk is so
She-Hulk
terrible.
was bad. I liked Miss Marvel, but I could have done if I didn't have Miss Marvel, I was okay. Hawkeye, I tapped out of Hawkeye, but I went back and watched it because of that awful Kingpin performance in there.
I mean, again, I think the general consensus, I mean, it's almost the universal consensus that Loki is the best of the Marvel
Loki's
shows.
by far the best of the show.
Yeah.
Some people, I see people tell me WandaVision. I'm like, I mean, that's fine. I mean, I just wasn't big on WandaVision. And I'm gonna give Agatha. What do we got? Penguin tomorrow, don't we?
It's dropping soon, yeah.
All right, so Penguin comes on at 6:00 tomorrow for you guys. You know what? I'm going to be available for that. Do we want to do a live watch party, or do we want to do later on after people watch it? What do we want to do tomorrow?
Is it 6 Pacific?
6:00, yeah. It's 6 Pacific, so it'll be 9 your time.
Yeah, I think I might be able to do that.
Yeah, let's do a Penguin watch party tomorrow. We'll do that way because I'm going to be available tomorrow during that time of day, and I'm usually not.
And then we're doing like the normal show where we get to talk about something else.
Yeah,
just leave it at that.
What's that?
The thing we can't talk about yet.
Oh yeah. I gotta finish. I gotta catch up on everything.
Okay, good. So do I. They're probably gonna go in the comments and like, what are they talking about here?
Yeah, you should probably be able to figure it out. Because it leads to something else that we're doing later on this week.
Yeah.
So. That's about it. Yeah, I am. When it comes to the comic stuff, when it comes to all the stuff that we have today, I'm just like I said. I am going. I haven't bought up the ban list again, but it's actually more relevant now than any time because Mark Waid, the whole thing. It just I just want to talk about things that make me happy and get me excited. And if you notice, I mean, and our views may reflect that. I mean, I know I could get a lot more views if I would have put Mark Waid and Zack Snyder in a thumbnail with
have them like
fighting
BBS,
each other,
like image.
Yeah, I could have got a lot more viewers, but I don't enjoy that. I don't enjoy talking about.
Yeah, I don't like talking about shit. I don't like either.
I could have James Gunn's Superman, and look at this, look at that, look at the new character drawing and fan drawing of that. I'm just not excited about it right now, and I don't care. And don't mistake me not caring about something as me disliking it. There's some things I just don't have any feeling for at this moment. That can change, but right now it's like, I haven't blocked, but I've muted a lot of terminology because I just don't want to see it on my timeline. I just don't care.
I've muted a lot of people for that reason.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care about you taking a picture of the coffee break of Hawk Girl on the set of Superman. Come on, dude, I don't care about that. I don't care about you sniping at one fandom just because you're excited about something else. You can be excited about something else with shitting on something else. Just like I can be excited about the stuff I've seen without necessarily shitting on James Gunn stuff. One of them I've seen, so my reverence for that is there, but there was one I haven't seen, and it's coming from a company that just really hasn't shown me anything lately. So I'm not gonna do all that. Some of these shows that are on, we'll talk about if we're not watching them outright, but I'm going to refine our content. I'm happy to have all the views that we have, but I just don't want to get drawn into talking about things I don't care about.
I feel pretty calm. God, guys, this is killing me.
Yeah, it's killing me too.
was killing me coaching today too. It was like, because, well, I mean, the kids, you know, I mean, I'm, you know, you coach kids in martial arts. I mean, you kind of, your immune system's like has to go through like a process of like getting used to what all the crap these kids bring into school. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like too, like where we've gotten subscription wise and like our kind of general community and your viewership. Like,
Your mic is messed up.
oh, you hear me now?
Say something.
You hear me now?
It's still echoing.
You hear me now?
I can, but it's like you're.
Is that better?
Hold on.
Chill here. I'm trying to make a closing statement.
I know. All right, try it.
Is that better?
Not really, but go ahead.
Okay, well.
Oh, there we go. Right there.
That's okay, good. Yeah, because with what we've built up as far as the community and subscriptions and viewer wise, and definitely the charity stuff we've done, it's like I feel pretty comfortable too with feeling like it's like even if we wanted to, as far as like continuing to build out the channel, even if we wanted to like go that you kind of like take like the easy route and just like thrive on like conflict and negativity, it's like I feel like we wouldn't even need to at this point because it's like we're already I feel like on our way to like where we want to be channel, and also with my background, it's like because I'm definitely striving to like bring some of the bells and whistles from my background in entertainment journalism. What I've said on here repeatedly, like it's I want to start like getting people for interviews or just quick Q&As. They're involved like the stuff we talk about and other things that we might be talking about soon here that I can't really reveal yet. That, and it's like, I really, I'm looking forward, like also like treating the Sci-Fi Center as like, it's an extension of Williams' business, but also it's like, treat it also from my end, like, like an actual, like legit, like outlet or publication. So, and with where we've gotten to, with everything we've done on that so far, and like the trajectory of it, I feel like even if we wanted to like just really just kind of just piss the people's cornflakes, I feel like we wouldn't need to build it to where we wanted to. So
yeah, a lot of these guys got a lot of subscribers doing the quest to get the movie made, but since then it's just
it's just obnoxious, like just like put up a thumbnail of like I'm gonna stick it to this guy or
I'm just not in it for that. I just never been into this science fiction horror fantasy thing. Why would you get into something to stick it to somebody else? What kind of piece of shit are you? I mean, if I'm a fan of something, I'm a fan of something. I see it in comic book movies. I see it in, I don't see it necessarily in comic books themselves. I see it in wrestling and all that. Are you there for yourself and your own enjoyment? Or are you literally there just to fuck with people? I mean, because that's a waste of time, man. I mean, you have no place in any fandom if that's why you're there. And we seem to have a lot of people that are into that, And I see people type, I just want to stick it to the Snyder fandom. I'm like, well, you're a fucking loser. What is?
Yeah, there are people, including people with YouTube followings, that I have muted and like double muted for that because it's like, I won't name names, but
talk about what you like. I mean, I have yet. If you guys who are in the chat right now, remind me or point out if anything, how many times that we've done streams about things I hate, other than daylight savings, because that's rightfully.
Well, we've definitely done things I hate, but it's only because you guys want to torture me.
Well, I'm talking about legitimately. That's not out of fun, stupid, and charity like that. I'm talking about. You don't see me with the CW thing on this thing, having a stream every day about what a waste of space the CW's been over 20 years. It's not my cup of tea. But I know other people enjoy it. Go ahead and enjoy it. I'll poke fun at it every now and then, but I'm not going to dedicate myself into something. If you lose a TV show, I'm not going to do a stream with tears on it, and I'm not going to do that. I want you to enjoy yourself, have your thing, just like Star Trek. I mean, there's some Trek out there that I just it's not watchable for me, but it's watchable for others. And I mean, Lower Decks is one of them. I don't think Lower Decks is all that great. Some of the jokes are funny. Some of the episodes are cool. But as a whole of the show, I have no use for it. But I know there's a bunch of Trekkies out there that love it. So me knocking on, I'm not going to spend the whole show saying, "Wow, fucking Lower Decks has done it again." No, that is an absolute waste of all of our time. So I'm not going to be that channel. I want to be that channel. And so if I start becoming that channel, feel free to say, "William, I thought you weren't going to become that channel." And if I think I'm drifting off, then we'll drift back. That's why we have a ban list. And a lot of it's for fun, but a lot of it's because I don't want to drift down to the point where that's what you come here for. So that's that.
And we've said like some of those, other YouTubers where we've alluded to, it's like, you notice, like, again, without naming names, you check out like some of their content when that well dries up of like, okay, we sort of beaten that dead horse of like just sticking it to this fandom or this filmmaker or this creator or this franchise. And okay, what else you got to talk about? It's then you start to notice, that's when their audience kind of starts to check out, and when their YouTube career really kind of tends to go belly up.
Yeah, mine started belly up. I started from nothing, but you guys saw where we started at. Don't go watching those old videos, by the way. In fact, I might fucking delete those. Anyway, you saw where we started out. It wasn't like we were, I had nothing to lose, to be honest with you, by starting where we started at, talking about everything we've had has been a gain. I'm happy about that. But like I said, I just want to have, I just want to talk about things I'm excited about. I mean, and like I said, if there comes a time I'm excited about what James Gunn's doing, that'll get added to the show. That'll be more for us to talk about. But right now, I'm not there. Agatha All Along, I'll give that a watch because I think Catherine Hahn is great.
Yeah, yes, not the drama channel.
Yeah, I'm not as big as Agatha Harkness as a lot of people are, even on any platform. But I'll give it a watch. I'll give I'll give some of these things a watch. But there's a difference between me watching something so I can have an objective opinion and me being excited about something. This show is me being excited about something.
Well, that's why I'm going to be like the main voice for Superman and Lois coming up, because that's a show that's I'm very invested in. Williams at Best Casual on it, but
happy you have your show. Happy you're getting a proper ending.
Yeah.
The show itself. It's the best. It's the best show aesthetically that CW has put.
Yeah,
on.
Definitely. Well, how much have you seen?
I've seen it all.
Really, you've seen all 3 seasons?
Yeah.
You've seen like every episode?
Yeah.
Oh, really? I didn't. Well, the way you made it sounded like you.
Some of them are better than the others. The most recent ones are the ones I don't like. The ones I just am like, why am I here?
The way you made it sounded like you'd like seen a couple episodes of season 1, just kind of said, yeah, this really isn't for me, but I could see why that's
we started off with watch parties at the store.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it just wasn't, it just wasn't for me. And it's like I watched it out of obligation, and we would do the watch parties, and I'm there, but I'm I'm like it's in my periphery. Now, attentively, I have only watched the one season. Obligational wise, I watched them all, and I have the.
I would have seen the look on your face when Doomsday showed up. It was probably it right there.
How they did it.
Yeah, well, because
steps that they took to do it.
Because they teased him initially as Doomsday. For those of you who haven't seen the show, in season 2, they set up this tease of Doomsday as like this creature crawling out of this mine in Smallville, and when he comes out, he's got the containment suit on. So I mean, it was very clear. They were. You
had to know if you collected another Superman.
And then he gets his mask torn open, and you see Tyler Hoechlin there. It's like, oh, so this is. Then it's clear. It's like, okay, that's not Doomsday. It's Bizarro. And
which is another just kick me in the balls again on the bingo list of characters I didn't need to see on motion TV.
I really like what they do with Bizarro on the show. But then without going too much detail, the way Doomsday comes about on Superman and Lois is that Lex basically gets hold of his corpse and revives him and kills him, and just does that over and over to mutate him into a monster. So.
Which, if you look back to how he was created, that kind of it was lined up with that because he was supposed to he's able to adapt to things. So that's what they kept doing. And then, but it got to the point where they couldn't stop him.
Yeah, that's like on like prehistoric Krypton was the idea is that he would just adapt to survive whatever killed him the last time. So it's a modification of his.
Then he crosses paths with Darkseid. I'm like, oh my god.
So
yeah,
I can't wait.
Like I said, I'm never hated on the show. It just wasn't for me.
They've also said they made a point that like there's probably going to be a few of these, with it being the final season. But they all, I forget who said it, but one of the interviews they talked about, yeah, there's going to be a character from the comics we've never had on the show before. That they were saying, man, we were surprised we weren't able to get him until now, but we're really grateful we were. The way they were talking to me, it sounded like it was a villain. I'm going to go ahead and place my bets as General Zod. I think we might see General Zod before the show, because he's been mentioned by name in season 1. So they kind of
not enough. There's just, I see. Here's the thing: there's just not enough time to give that level of character on a show. On a show, what you need to give him in a movie, you're articulating things differently, but on a show, you only got one season, and it's a shortened season.
And he's just about my favorite Superman villain too. Is General Zod. I love General Zod.
I just don't know if the TV version of it, with this short of time, is going to be.
Yeah. Well, again, this show, I mean, like you've seen, they really know how to get the most bang for their buck. I'm still amazed. I have no idea how they do it on a TV budget, but they just make it look so cinematic. That's why I'm so enamored with it. Partly why I'm so enamored with it. It's a big part, but many other reasons.
I could say the same about the other side of this too. Both sides of them just exhausted me. But there is no, they're not doing it in a vacuum. Like I said, I see what they're responding to, and I see the back and forth. So the people who have taken it personally, or the people who, like I said, the soulless individuals who have nothing else better to do than to try to antagonize somebody. I mean, yeah, you're right. People have their opinions, but like I said, there's don't you have something better to do? Why don't you go somewhere where we're actually wanted, where somebody, be enjoying a conversation you could actually be a part of, instead of trying to just, not you, Austin, but in general. Like I said, the Snyder fandom don't need to take anything from it. I don't. But the people who are engaging in them don't have to do the dumb shit that they do. That for the most part, and objectively speaking, most of these things that start is because one of those shitheads picks at the other. And that's where it starts. They're the one. I mean, if they weren't taking it personally, why are they engaging in a conversation that has nothing to do with them and generally jumping? Like, you see them jumping into people's mentions. I'm like, I see people. I'm like, well, where the fuck did you come from? They just jumped in the conversation to start some shit, So they both of them have exhausted me. To be honest with you.
Well, no, guys. I think that's kind of covers all our topics for the evening. It was a pretty, free evening though, topic wise.
No, I'll call them deeply trouble. if you drive off the road to drive into somebody else's road to fuck with people, I think you got some issues. I think you don't have a lot going on right now. If you look at some of the engagement. So yeah, I do think I don't know how deep those troubles are, but I know that they need to go on to something else. I mean, we've all seen the discourse that happens, why it happens, and generally how it starts. So yeah, that's my opinion. Yeah. But I have no use for either side at this point, because I'm like I said, engaging in either side it has me talking about things that don't do the show any good. The show has not done 1 inch. We haven't improved the show at all by talking about these people, about James Gunn, or about anything Snyder going. We have not moved the show along. Anything that we've moved the show along with has been topics other than that. If you notice our viewership, where our viewership goes, our viewership is more and more not caring about. I don't think any of them, for the most part. I look at my chat and look at my interaction. Most of them are on the same level of me. At this point, they don't care about. They don't care about DCU right now, because there's really nothing to care about, in their opinion, in my opinion, and they're exhausted of the Snyder conversation. So that's where I'm steering my show. I steer my show away from Snyder conversation. I steer my show away from the DCU as much as possible. Today we had a situation where a much respected person had an opinion. He has a right to that opinion. I don't agree with his opinion if that's what he meant, but I don't need to go to World War III over it. I didn't even jump into the discourse with it. So yeah, probably going to end up bringing back the ban list and making a hard, making it hard this time. Before it was just fun, but James Gunn's DCU, if there's nothing going on, I don't want to talk about it. I mean, we'll talk about the cast announcements and all that, because that's relevant. Other than that, until a trailer comes out, maybe New York Comic Con, that's going to go on the hard ban list. And Snyder Talk, we're gonna put that back, because nothing's happening.
And I'm not
Well, I
talking
mean,
about
if he takes my advice about posting more of
Okay.
that stuff, he's not
happening as in happening, speculation about something happening, wondering if something is going to happen, hearing a rumor about something happening, that's on the ban list because there's nothing nothing to talk about. There's nothing. So we're going to bring back the ban list, and it's going to end up having to be a hard ban list because otherwise, like I said, neither side, I just don't have time for either side of the conversation anymore. I just don't, unless the conversation is going somewhere, and it's just not. Where's it gone since the last time we talked about it? It hasn't gone anywhere. I'm no closer to giving a shit about what's going on July 11th, 2025 than I was 2 weeks ago. I'm no closer to having anything relevant to talk about in regards to the continuation or the resolution of that story than I was 6-7 weeks ago. So yeah, we're the hard ban list. And that means like timeout shit. You know what I mean? All you got probably gonna have to do is say those words and be like, what is it, 312 seconds, 310 seconds? The time you offer? Shut up, Clint.
You said.
Now, that's not what I said. Listen to what I'm saying because I'm the one in front of you right now. And that is not what I said. Did I not say that Mark Waid had a right to his opinion? That's not who I'm talking about. So if you want to conflate that with who I'm talking about, that's what's going on in your own head. I specifically said what I meant. I don't need to repeat it. All right. Let's end the show on something I want to actually end it on.
Well, obviously, that can only be Good Burger.
I specifically said, and you know who the people are, Austin. You've engaged with all these guys. You've seen them on Twitter. Going into is Mark Waid in anybody's mentions? Is Mark Waid creating thumbnails, antagonizing fan bases? No. So that's clearly not who I'm talking about. Why do the show and have the mic? Is the mic working? Why do the show if
Good burger?
you guys aren't going to listen to if you want to listen to what you're saying in your own head, then that's why are you listening to me? I love to have the view and the like and subscribe, but why am I saying something in one format and then watching it be all pretzeled in the actual response in the chat? Yeah, that's what I meant. No, Mark Waid. Listen, I said no. Mark Waid has had an opinion. Listen, if you don't like a certain person's films, that's like I said, that's an opinion. That's an opinion. But to engage in the way that we've been engaging in this it's just been silly. I don't like. Give me anything I don't like that I haven't brought up. There's been plenty of stuff I don't like.
Good Burger.
Okay. That Good Burger is fucking stupid. All right, but I'm not going to go to somebody has let's resurrect Good Burgers. I'm not going to be like, oh, you're an idiot. The fuck is wrong with you? All that, even though I'm probably thinking that, I'm not. Dude, if that show made you happy and you get something, you have it. The people who liked Willow, I thought that was a disaster of a decision to make that show. There are some people out there that legitimately enjoyed that show. I'm like, I think it was a joke to bring that back, and I think everybody involved in that should have to rethink their careers. But if I'm not going to engage and be like, you idiot, you need to get over it, Will. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I mean, so that's what I mean. Me having an opinion, I say, hey, Willow was a very good show. Should have never been greenlit in the first place, and I'm going to move on to it. But I'm not going to engage over and over and over the people that are trying to to get that back. Same thing with people with Star Trek. Somebody emailed me one day when Lower Decks, they said that was going to be the fifth and final season. Oh, I bet you're happy. No, I'm not. I'm not happy that someone else is not getting something. See, those are the assholes that I'm talking about. But you're dancing and you're happy about somebody not getting something. If the people who are like Superman and Lois, obviously you know what I think about the CW network and its shows. But if you enjoy that show, last thing I want is for you not to have what you enjoy. How did that enrich my life? Those are the people who I'm talking about. And the people who engage, well, you guys need to get this. No one has the right to tell anybody what to get over. That everybody's going to do that in their own time if they ever do it at all, and they are not obligated to do anything. They are the customer. So Mark Waid up here had an opinion. If it's laced the way I think it is, you have to watch the interview, but it's just like weeks old. That's an opinion I don't agree with. Then there's the other people that are like just poking at people and fucking with people and jumping under people's mentions and on their YouTube pages, and you should do this, you should do that. You're delusional, you should do that. You know what? You people doing that should stay out of those people's business. There's millions of YouTubers online that have stuff that you want to talk about. And how many hours in a day do we have? I'm like, dude, you have that kind of time to be having that kind of interaction? Dude, I don't have time to watch the shows I'm supposed to be talking about sometimes. I'm not going to be doing that stuff. So no, there's a different level. There are levels to this, as they say. Mark Waid's just an opinion. I'd run into people all the way. I don't like Man of Steel. Okay, all right. I don't like BBS. Okay. And they lay out the reasons. I'm like, okay with that. That's one thing. That's what we could get back to one day. That's not what happens here at times. So yeah, there's a big difference. There we go with the fucking burger. You know what? All right. Well. All right. Well, before this turns into I listen, dude. I gave it a shot. I may give it another shot because I've heard people say, even people who agree with me, that the first season was just quicksand to get through. They're saying this is a huge improvement. I've never been a Tolkien fan to begin with, so that's an uphill thing for me. I've just never been interested in the IP. It bores me to tears, but other people, you don't hear me making a. I know I've seen those. I've seen people who hate Lord of the Rings literally making money off of hating Lord of the Rings. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. If I don't like something, we're just going to move on to something I do like. Gets the blood pressure going in the right direction. You know what I mean? I want to talk like come July. Right now, July, there's one movie in July for me. That's FF. That is the movie for me. Now, if I'm not going to see Jurassic Park, but I will go to see Superman. We'll probably be promoting it if Warner Brothers decides that, we're a big enough market. But and if I like it, we'll talk. If I don't like it, it's going to be in the background. We'll give our initial review of it, and then we're going to move on to other stuff. We're going to move on to amping up for Fantastic Four, the movie I actually want to see that summer. And talking about Comic-Con, because we will have just come back. The Superman will be before Comic-Con, and then FF will be just after Comic-Con. It literally will be the week of Comic-Con. So we're gonna have a lot of fun Comic-Con, man. I'm looking forward to Comic. That makes me happy. I think all these people who do these things on the internet should go to a convention and actually be amidst the camaraderie that is the core of this kind of talk. I think they think that might change them. I like Game of Thrones and don't like it's just boring. It's boring. None of the characters excite me. None of the stories of plights of the characters excite me. I think it's long-winded. I think Lord of the Rings in general takes way too long to get to the points of action, and not just action, but the pivotal points of the story that I think need to happen quicker. My mind is not wired for Lord of the Rings, but for those of you guys who like that, stuff, you're never going to see me. How could they do Sauron that way? What is that? Not? Oh, it's an agenda. Oh my God, those ones. Not going to see me do that. You're not going. And if you catch me doing it, say something. Because I don't want to become that kind of show. And I don't know the people who've created those type of shows. I don't even think that's the way they started out being. I think that the topics drew them in, and before they looked around and saw what was going on, that was what was giving them super chats. That was what was giving them the money and the views, and so they just kept on. I don't want to do that. Otherwise, I'm just going to and then you get to the point where you just don't want to stream anymore. I've seen people do that, and I'm having a lot of fun with this, but all right, I'll have the alarm ready, and we have armed security. So,
Well,
hey, and I have the ladder. I have your ladder, buddy.
Well, We definitely have to agree on this. Probably good note to end off with these. You got to give the Good Burger another shot, William.
No.
I want to go back to like when I used to pull up the clips of like, oh, I'll see you in hell. Probably get taken down now if we do that because you've gotten big enough.
Oh, when are you coming back? Hey, listen, I don't need to see you. Rhea, yeah, we're all right. I don't want to see you fourth. In fact, you know what? I'll have to make sure that the security guards know what you like. They're like, hey, if you see him headed towards my store, just tase him. And I'll be like, that's him. Get him. All right. Well, yeah. So yeah, tonight was a good show. I mean, it was a wide open topic. We touched on some things.
Yeah.
I knew I was going to get asked by things, but like I said, we're going to keep it tight. Like I said, band list is coming back tomorrow. But you can see the look and tone of my voice when we're talking about stuff that I'm really excited about, and you can see the look and tone of my voice when it's the labor, you know. And right now, Snyder and DCU is work. It's labor. It's that heavy lifting that you're like, oh shit. I can already see the questions in the chat. Let's get to that. That's the shit you have to get through to get to your show. Let's get to the stuff that like makes us like jump up and down. You know what I mean? You get shot coming here. Don't do that. Yeah, don't do that. And that's not even by me. Dude. Yeah, don't come out here. Get rolled up, and it'll be like, you know this guy? I'm like, oh, fuck. Yeah. If you come into the store, I can make it look like an accident. So yeah, come to the store. I'll let you know where to wait. It's going to be close to the banister. I'm just kidding. Let me know if you are coming out though. So because like I said, I don't want people coming out and to see me and I'm slammed because I hate that because I hate not being able to spend time with people. I didn't get to spend the time. Rhea was out here. I didn't get to spend time with Rhea. You know, whenever anybody who comes out here, I want to spend some time with you if you came all this way. All right, that's a good note to end it on. Tomorrow, later on this evening, we are going to do a Penguin Live watch party. So 6 o'clock Pacific time, 9 o'clock East Coast. We're going to watch it as it premieres. So you guys love. That's one thing you guys have shown me. You love these fucking watch alongs.
Oh yeah. We can definitely see that in our views.
I'm like, the Matrix is like almost. The Matrix is closing in. Where's the Matrix at? Is the Matrix closing in on 500 yet?
Yeah, it's almost there.
So we are 600 viewers away from 100,000.
Awesome.
4 viewers
Rad.
away. 4 subscribers away from 1,100.
Should wake up to that tomorrow then, probably.
No, we've been sitting on it for quite a while. But the way they do it though, it's different. It doesn't do it in real time. You know what I mean? It's almost like there's like some kind of average.
Yeah. It takes a minute to catch up.
Yeah, this is some kind of average that does. I'm looking at the live stuff that we've done, content. So the Matrix is at 478 views. Friday the 13th, which was on a late Friday night, 270. Live After Fighting is at 133. Oh, darn bad. Look at this. The disaster.
Don't even think about pulling that shit up.
Is 160. But in all fairness, fucking Life After Fighting, just one scene was better than the entirety of disaster movies.
One frame of film in that is in any movie like you pull off the shelf at random is better than a disaster movie.
Creator and the other one.
You guys fucking disappoint me sometimes with the stuff you want me to watch.
Terminator 0 episodes 1 and 2 did 350, 340.
Aaron's the only one who understands me.
The Crow Watch Party, that was late at night. We did 3 things. Yeah, so you guys love these watch parties. So.
Yeah. So just no more of that spoof movie bullshit.
hey, not for free at least.
No, you couldn't pay me to do it. No, I've done enough. I would like to actually, be sane as I advance into my elder years.
You need to be careful. You need to come to Kim's early because you wait around, you might not have any food left. They've been selling out on a daily basis, and it's packed. Yeah. I was just so busy, just. Mm. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Lloyd will be back with 2 brand new movies on November 8th and 9th. So,
All right.
All right, we're out of here.
I'll see you guys later. Try.